Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Happy Friday to everybody who is watching this live or watching it on a Friday. And if it's after that, happy whatever day you're watching. Thank you for doing so. And thank you everybody for coming in. Looks like Jorge, I had a little voice crack there. Jorge, Anyan, and Stefan on the podium. Congratulations to you three. Jorge said, you need to do a Benfica collection to play Challenger. Actually, Sorare keep trying to give me Porto cards, and so I don't know. We'll see. Anion said excited to watch the J League this weekend. Big East Asia competition. Carrie, what's up? Catching up on yesterday's show. Got to keep updated. Yeah. Toby, what's up? Ryan Walter said, I think Mike's pants off beer on comment from yesterday inspired today's title. That's a good one. Bob said, PSA, submit a draft of your lineups one day before the deadline. Work emergency kept me from pushing the button on Sorare Data today and missed out on 15 to 20 good-looking lineups for the weekend. Bob, no. I hate that. But I agree with you. I send my first drafts on Thursday, basically whenever I start to do them. And I probably exported like 20 times. Maybe not that many. Anyway, Kai, what's up? Tizai. Holty, settle in with the cards you have. If you have an in-season cards, you write it out all season, right? Tomachez, what's up? Mikey Bastin, Dobsy, Germ, hello. ZM Star, Mikey Selective Hearing Bastin. Shout out to the Deadline Show and Harry Trades, Quinny, of course. Sorare Burrow, what's up? Red or Dead, Sorare Samurai 205. Pavlo plays Sorare. Happy Friday to you. JT Chells, what's up? Trey Frazier. I was going to say Trey Fraz, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. Thanks everyone for coming in. Much appreciated on this Friday. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If the 2 hours before the deadline, so this applies certainly not to Bob Franklin apparently, but the 2 hours before the deadline on Friday is like two of the most enjoyable hours of my week. And it has nothing to do with the lineups because actually that part is not great. But Quinny and Harry on the Deadline Show, it's just great. And it's such a good watch. And they go through as many lineups, predicted lineups as they possibly can. And it's like a community effort of sharing any news. And it's great. It's genuinely great. And so GG's to the two of them for just crushing it every week. And if you guys don't watch it, you should. It's over on Quinny's channel. So YouTube, Quinny 3001. I believe it's on X as well. I don't know if they do Twitch. Harry may know. But go check that out. And while you're, perusing YouTube, looking for places to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed to either Quinny's or Harry's channels, Harry Trades, go do it. Because it's just the whole Sorare experience is better with those two guys. Anyway, the topic for today about time to settle in was mostly that the launches of like the Argentina cards, followed by the J League and K League, followed by MLS, gave us all kind of this like, oh, there were some people saving their money for these launches and weren't sure kind of like which cards to buy, but they've gotten their cards. And now we kind of have like almost all the leagues back. Russia's back this week. I think Quinny said this morning, game week 66 is the return of Brazil. And we'll have Norway back sometime around there then as well. But it's very close to everything in the game being back. And this is kind of the time where we all just figure out what we're doing each game week kind of revolves around our lineups. It's not a huge card accumulation game at this point. And obviously the people who don't play MLS, J League, K League, Argentina have been doing this anyway. Like if you're a European League only player, you're probably not buying many new cards right now. But if you're like a lot of Sorare players where you kind of try to play everything, or at least have a little nibble in each competition, even U23, if you play U23, that's year round. The need for like new in-season cards, and I know U23 doesn't have in-season, but Sorare Samurai says it perfectly. It's just time to put our heads down and churn results. And it is a bit of that now. And I say that as somebody who bought MLS cards heading into last week for the Royal Rumble, which they called Divisional Battle. And I ended up buying more cards. And I did a whole thing on limited time only about spending $300, and then I won $50 and like immediately spent 60. And it's like, what's going on here? But like, I don't have enough MLS cards to get me through the whole season. And I was actually going to make today's show a limited time only and go through why I bought some more MLS cards, but it's Friday. And I think most people who watch this channel regularly know that Friday's a little more laid back. I think I did a limited time only kind of last week on a Friday. Maybe it was the week before. I don't know. But Friday feels like it's now being reserved for just, settling into the weekend. And so I didn't want to have like a very in-depth conversation about what I was going to do with MLS. And I'll just hit you guys with that probably on Monday. But it is something that like I did spend some resources in order to get in-season MLS cards and like tracking all of that. And what I also did was pass on FOMOing into the Asia special. Mike said I let everybody down with that, which is fair because I did lots of content last week about how I was not going to FOMO into MLS, and then I just FOMO'd into MLS. And I'll be honest, I did look at some of the prices for J League and K League, and actually, let's go back because the lineup I was going to play, like I was going to buy this lineup and play it, was a double Sanfrecce defensive stack: Kaisuke Osako, Sho Sasaki, and Hayato Arakai. I was going to buy those in-season limited. So I was only going to do limited. I have a Cecina classic that I was going to use. And then the last spot, at the time that I like looked at it, I was going to look at Ki Sung Yang from Seoul. And I was going to just see how much that could get me. And I'm going to go back here. So when I did this was what, 224? What was that, Monday? Osako was $30. This was instant buys. I didn't even look at auctions. Osako, $30. Sasaki, $15. Arakai, $10. Ki, $6. So what is that? $45, $55, $61 I was going to spend. And I didn't, because at one point the prices started to go up. And I'm genuinely curious like where they ended up. So Osako was in like the 20 range. What did I say he was? 30? 30. So he actually came down a little bit. 29. Yeah, had I looked at the auctions, I probably could have gotten him in the 20 range. This lack of FOMO is concerning. It's not really concerning, but all right. So I guess I could have done, let's even call it $22 for Osako. Sho Sasaki, who's going to have a hologram card, went for, let's call it 15-ish, although the instant buys were a little higher. So what did I say? Sasaki. So that's actually kind of the same. Arakai had a big game last week, or maybe it was in the midweek. So maybe his price got up from the 10 I was going to pay. Looks like some people stole it for $5. Wow. But yeah, those ended up going a little higher. Did he have 100? Or he had 82. Oh yeah, and he had a negative decisive and still had 71, in the midweek. So I guess the prices really didn't change that much. Song Yang, there he is. Where did Ki end up? $8, $10-ish dollars. So his price, yeah, people liked that. So it was kind of like, oh, $65, which maybe I could have gotten it for 55 or 60. And it was actually Tuggy who did build a lineup for it, although he's kind of a J League, he's a Sanfrecce guy anyway. But he was like, yeah, the prizes really just aren't that great. And I'll be honest, I didn't even look. And let's try to look. Does anybody remember how to do this? Is it in discover new? Can I discover new competitions for this game week? No, I can't even click in. East cannot enter when the game week is live. I don't want to enter. I just want to see the competitions. Please, somebody help me do this. Mike said, I use my market credits left to purchase Osaka. That's good. Sorare Samurai said, you have to go with K-League guys with the J-League playing this midweek. Who knows what will happen with DNPs? I guess. Yeah. So again, there's no way for us to find out these leaderboards. Still no way. Go to your profile and then see pro history. Of course. Of course. See pro history. Live. Now what? Is there like an all comps? Rewards pool? Oh, are we getting closer? All? Hey, there we go. All right. First place, who was that? Duje 912. Thank you very much. Love that. All right. $1,000 for the amount of space, of just blank space on this page is hilarious. Anyway, so $1,000 for first place. I think I'd probably be like top 10. So $100, but, and obviously, so let's say top 20, I would have paid that lineup off in limited. The rare one, this goes back to not showing me. How much did the rare one pay? 1,200. That's not even that much different. Yeah. So, Tuggy pointed out for me, 1,200, 800, 500, 300, 200 for the top 5 in rare. Wait, what was that compared to? Why does this keep defaulting to the one I didn't choose? Anyway, so 12, 8, 5, 3, 2 was 10, 6, 4, 2, 3, 2. So fourth and fifth place in rare and limited are the exact same. Okay. Which I think is fine. There are way more people competing in limited than rare. Limited has who knows how many people? Who knows? Rare, the same number of who knows. So remember we could have 3 teams, so I'm getting 2K in limited and 2.5K in rare. That's sharp. That's sharp. Yeah, it is better to win, to finish first, second, and third than not. Like, so I agree with you. So yeah, that's great. Tuggy said my comment on prize pool not being great was for rare. Well, I'm glad I applied that to limited and then decided not to play limited. But to be honest, I just didn't have the passion there. I really didn't. I did see Kim Ju-sung had a nice run up on, or actually somebody instant bought his super rare. That's what it was. But I have his rare that I won a while ago. What did he end up costing? $15? Yeah. Like the tricky thing for me is that I should probably end up buying some K-League and J-League cards. Like I have Osako, Arakai, and Sasaki. I have a Ki Sung Yang. I have Kim Ju-sung here in rare. And if I just bought their in-season cards like to play in Contender, because my Contender guys run out in May, maybe I should have done that. And I think I haven't ruled that out, but it was kind of like maybe I'll wait until the prices go down a little bit because I don't want to pay the prices leading up to the special just for the special. But if we see here, like they didn't really run up that much, unless people were just like it didn't drop that much. Looks like it dropped a tiny little bit, but maybe it dropped a little bit. I mean, maybe it hasn't dropped because people knew this special was coming. Sorare Samurai said, think the Argentina comp was the much better one to buy in for, which I completely agree. Based on like sort of the prizes and the prices that we saw. But let's see who the most expensive ones are from the J League and K League right now. Although really, like, should I just like I could do Argentina also for like I have an Argentina rares. I have Racing rares for in season. So I mean, we can see Cecina is the most expensive of these guys. Source said everyone was buying up Daegu to wind up Hoodwink. I mean, everybody's going to buy Cecina. So like, if you're going to buy Cecina, you might as well buy more Daegu guys to make your Cecina more relevant. Like, surely there are a decent number of collectors. Well, actually, let's see. Did Hoodwink make a in season Daegu collection? Is that the only way that I can like find a see collections? So he's 12th with 750. So we're looking at 14 people who likely have at least a 10% Cecina. That's pretty good. Yeah, Bruno Lamas has started off. Yeah. Anion said a Cecina limited was 2,000 a few hours ago. Yeah, I think they. And Mike said I think the prices dipped because of the promo. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think there were a couple. I saw the Zaha rare was like $2,000, but they fixed it. But ultimately, like it's not that expensive to get into Contender in season limited. Like Cecina is the highest price guy at $63. Mekawa from Vissel Kobe's 52. Surprised Yuya Sako's that high. But as you see here, like Franco Armani, who I'm like more likely to buy. Let's see. There's Jesse Lingard for 28. Jo Hyung Woo, who I know is out for a while, is 28. Kosi Tani, 27. There's Osako still at 24. Like I guess even the there's Sasaki at 17. Where's Gabriel Arias? $14. The reason I looked up Arias is because like I have a rare in-season Racing collection, and it's like, should I just get the limited and just run it together? I seem to have now only gotten Argentina guys. And do we need another copy of Armani? Ross Irvine, what's up? Catching live for once. Love that. Love that. Is there a way to see a quality of the lineups? I don't know what that means. Like all the lineups in the special? I mean, you can look at them on Sorare data. I assume you could look at them on Sorare. Well, actually, I just tried to pull it up and you can't yet. But yeah, so I didn't end up playing like YOLOing into the FOMOing in. There was actually no FOMO at all. There were so few people I know that bought cards for this. And so the FOMO wasn't there, but YOLO, there could be a little YOLO. But again, like my own Contender lineups this game week are not good because I basically rely on Tigres and Necaxa, and they play each other this week. So not great, Bob. But and that sort of brings the reason of like, oh, should I like start to diversify my in-season Contender stuff? Because I have Racing, who's supposed to rotate this weekend. And I Tigres and Necaxa again in rare. And so like if I do it in limited, should I just do Racing? Because the collection can't. I would get the whole collection because why not? But like I would want Sosa, who have they given us a second rare yet? The lack of cards of Santiago Sosa is absolutely infuriating. Are these even for sale? No, they're just showing them. Oh, yeah, they I don't know what's going on. But so rare if you're listening, if you could please mint some Santi Sosa rares. But anyway, the limiteds are available. And so it's like Sosa, Arias, Vieto. I guess I would buy Adrian Martinez, Martirena. And I always liked Almendra. Those are like the only guys I actually want. And the rest are just fillers. There's Basso. I would want him too. So I mean, we're still looking at, was that 20, 35? Yeah. I mean, we're probably in the $70 range for the whole collection. And was that 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 cards? I don't even think that gets you to 750, which is kind of funny. Unless you get some special editions, which you can't now, I guess. Who's selling these? Any special editions here? 3 animated, or is that 8? 3. For fillers, that's not so bad. Not so bad. Anyway, those are the things that I was thinking about, which is why I didn't YOLO into the special, but maybe I will. I mean, maybe I'll regret it. Not that I can go back, but Sir Samurai said, I mainly bought in for both specials so I can have the cards I play over the summer with my small gallery. I think that's the right way to make it. Mike said, is he falling foul of the injured player minting issue? Was that not supposed to be a thing anymore? I.e., Sora may lose money on selling injured players. I think because he was injured, they stopped minting him, but it's like it's almost wild that they had that information that he was hurt. I mean, obviously he's not been playing, but they mint plenty of people who aren't playing. So I don't know what the reason is, but I would like those cards as a collector of that team. Where am I here? Like I'm third. And I'm the only one in the top 3 that doesn't have 750 points. But I also only have 13 cards. Yeah, like what's funny is that I've always been kind of on the side of having the same player in multiple scarcities. And for some reason, I'm just hesitant on getting the Racing limited collection, even though it's like it shouldn't be all that hard. Oops. Who else? Let's see who else or how many people are here. It's still not only 6, or it's 750. Tuggy said you could have had the one of. So I have a couple one ofs in the Racing collection, which is why I didn't go for the Sosa one, because I was like, I'll just try to get him a little cheaper. But like I have Leon, I have Basso. Who else? This I don't no, that's not a jersey mint. Oh, there it is. Balta and Almendra. I wonder if there are any jersey mints on the market. This is what I like to do. Including adding an extra. Let's see, serial number. We got any? None. Oh, that's right. Tuggy, you bought it. Yeah, I didn't want to pay that much. Excuse me. Ross, I think Sosa's supposed to be back fairly soon. Fairly soon. Jorge said, thank God I bought Modric this morning. What happened to Modric today? I assume something good, but I played Modric. Quinny. I saw somebody post a lineup today. I forget where it was, but it had Modric, Rodrigo, and Mbappe, and Modric was the captain. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Germ said, wait, Sorare don't auction injured players, but reward them out of their tier as if they were healthy. So ironically, Santi Sosa, who has 1 rare ever sold, what was that? 3 limiteds that have sold, and 1 super rare, was a star reward last game week in super rare. I don't know why. Like these are all of his limited in-season cards. He has 1 rare, and was it actually 0 super rares that they had? That can't be right. I thought they. Oh, it was. That was the first Sosa super rare. So they hadn't even done the. I thought the one of was out, but I guess not. But Surfila has it now. But I would happily buy this card for my collection. Oh, and somebody crafted him. So like you can craft him. There's an oh, there's an auction. There we go. There we go. Moving right along. And then an instant buy. That's very confusing. Very confusing to me. I don't know why it's doing that. But it is what it is. So yeah, as I say, like it's time to settle in, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy a Racing collection. But I have more lineups this week than I've had in a long time. I think I ended up exporting 43. Let me see. Yeah, 43 lineups I exported today. And they're not all great lineups because you can't. I mean, if you have 43 lineups, they're not all going to be great. But it was more than I've had in a while because like all of my challenger cards are here. So like I have 2 champion lineups, and then it's like challenger classic super rare, 3 challenger in-season rares, 3 challenger classic rare, 3 in-season challenger limited, 3 in-season challenger classic. I don't even like classic or challenger that much. 2 super rare contender lineups, 3 contender in-season rares, 3 classics. So I actually almost got stuck. Or was it this lineup? Yeah. One of these lineups got relegated recently. Plum maybe here, and I had my Barco lineup in D2, and I was like, whoa, that's not what I meant. Major MT said, isn't Contender Classic the hardest with Russia and Chinese Super League? So long-term in-season contender will be worthless. I mean, I still play for fun, but I always worry about this. Wait, what? Isn't Contender Classic the hardest with Russia and Chinese Super League? That's why you buy players in China and players in Russia. Anyway, so long-term in-season contender will be worthless. Why? I don't understand why it'll be worthless. Like these cards are not going to be in season together ever. Like you're not going to have a Barco and a Douglas Santos together in an in-season lineup now. But I didn't really love my. So like I said, I thought Racing. I had a Racing collection, and I had 3 Racing guys here. Then I took Almendra out, and I took Martorena out, and I'm hoping Arya starts. Even though they rotate, so I didn't want to use any of Barco, Felipe, or Douglas Santos in season because I don't know what's going to happen with these lineups. And then Tigres and Necaxa play each other. And here's Kim Ju-sung. But yeah, so then 3 contender in seasons, 2 classic contender. I'm sorry, 3 contender classic limited, including this old school rare pro lineup of Franco Petroli, NFM, who might start but might not, Zelarayan, who might start and might not, Benny Traore, and Pablo Barrera. And then I have a couple U23s, and then, my MLS stuff. Oh, and then All-Star, including my 2 All-Star limited lineups that have 1 limited card amongst the 10 cards. Major NT said, long-term, no one beats Barco and company. But I don't know. Those guys are not in season. Like, I think that's the big difference. That's why I actually really like Contender, because classic and in season is so different. Like you can have a ton of in season Messis and classic Messis in season MLS contests, but you can't have in season Barco or in season Douglas Santos. So, people will play the one off, but you're not going to have these, like, you're not going to see a Zenit stack in season. Goose said the value of Ovanetsek decreases greatly when he becomes classic because the competition becomes so much tougher. I don't care. like every card decreases once they become classic. And like Vonnetzek is like I played 2 of them this week. I captained one in Contender Classic. Like I think that's actually a bad example because I think Vonnetzek is not necessarily on Barco's level, but like he's there. Yeah. I think it's also thinking about what the value is after they're in season is missing the point of Sorare now. Mike said, can you ever have too many goalkeepers? Just realized I have 23 starting keepers that didn't make lineups this game week. Wow. I don't know how many I had. I don't even know how to check that. Actually, I know exactly how to check it. We'll just go back to our All-Star Limited because I had a few left over as well. Enrique Bologna, Franco Petroli, Yohei Takeda, Kaylor Navas, Ezekiel Unsane, Nordine Bakker, Noppert was going to start this week. And that's it. That's what I have left over. Goose said, my challenger cards decrease less because there's no new cards to compete with. I think you think that's the case, but I don't think it's actually the case. Like when Wanetsek becomes a classic card, the people aren't saying I'm going to pay less for Wanetsek because he's competing against Wendell and Juan Quintero and Barco. Like I don't think people think that way at all. Major MT said, sorry, Larry, my thought was you just have to be smart with in-season, especially in Contender, as the classic game is so different. Yeah. I got that. It's, yeah. But again, Goose, I think not. I don't think what you're referring to matters that much. Like, I don't think what the value drop of challenger cards versus contender cards matters. Like the contender cards are probably cheaper to start with anyway. And I don't think that there is enough of an analysis by a majority of Sorare users who play contender who say if an in-season Wanetsek is $100, let's say, and the classic is $20, but Barco is 50, Wanetsek didn't go from 120 because of Barco. It's just because he went from in-season to classic. Like there's still plenty of good players in contender that like if you play Barco in a lineup, that means you're not playing Cecina. Let's see. Like Barco has been the best for sure. Although Dominic Fitz says, hold my beer. Yeah, Berardi, he's another one. Glushnikov, if he's fit, man, that's a scary one. Douglas Santos. Like I think my point is like ultimately you're still having to Barco's L5 is 94.4. That's so funny. That break couldn't have come at a worse time. But also like if you think his 81 L15 continues, I think it's unlikely. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think Barco is going to have an L40 of 82. But maybe he does. I mean, he should smash this weekend. Mine was just unfortunate because I almost felt like I was wasting him in an in-season lineup this weekend because my in-season cards were not as good. And I had a Wanetsek. Man, Hein is still crushing, huh? In fact, I never bought this guy. Maybe that's why he's still crushing. Germ said, can't wait for those 3 energized lineups. Going to be some insane in-season lineups. I don't think it's going to be that easy, Germ. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. But I know that like I'm competing in season without some of these guys. And like I don't like having a Barco is like, yeah, it's great. But like I still play guys like Evian in in season when I can, when the matchup's right. JPH, Felipe, I played in season literally last week. Wendell, and like the fact that you can only play one for now is an almost, it's not that it limits Barco, but like there are plenty of other cards you can play. Again, that's why I love Contender so much, because there are so many cards that you can that you can play that have good matchups on a given week. There's always going to be someone. Like Barco probably was the top player in Contender this week, I would assume. Let's see. Yeah. But like, look at all these AAAs. James, Shaqiri. Like, there's plenty of guys. DJ said, if you have Barco, you are almost never using any other classics in season. So challenger classics have more value since you are more likely to use different one each week. If you have Barco, you're almost never using any other classics in season. See, I'm telling you now that there are plenty of guys you can play instead of Barco that on a given week have excellent matchups and are a third of his price. Like, what does a Barco rare go for now? $193 is the floor. I think you guys are looking at Barco and deciding that he is the best player on the platform, which he might be. But to say that, like, if you don't have Barco, you're dead is I will never subscribe to that. Albrico said, I've prioritized All-Star Rare with Shaq, Barco, and Berardi. That's one way to do it. Sorare Samurai said, as long as your Smasher Classic smashes, then that's all you need. Right. Goose said, do you mean the decrease of value in SO5 could be slightly bigger in Contender, but the market isn't aware of it? Or do you think the decrease of value in Contender when cards become classic isn't that big? I'm saying I don't think there's a decrease in value in SO5. What I'm saying is I don't think that that Contender cards that move from in-season to classic don't decrease more than challenger cards that go from in-season to classic. And I think the argument is like, oh, there's so many classic, like elite classic Contender cards that if you have Contender in-season cards, once they become classic, like I think you're thinking of like, oh, if I have an in-season Cameron Carter-Vickers, right? And now you're comparing Carter-Vickers to every other in-season defender in Contender. Fine. And then when he goes to classic, now you're like, oh, not only is he up against all of those people, but he's also up against guys who don't get minted anymore, like Douglas Santos or any other smasher defenders from Contender who I won't be able to name now that I use them as an example. And I'm saying I don't think that's the case. I don't think that the Carter-Vickers price drop is more dramatic just because he's in Contender than if he was in Challenger or a comparable player in Challenger. I just don't think that's the case. POV. I knew I should have said POV. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's any meaningful difference that you should think of it in your idea of like, what should I pay for these cards? But again, I don't think it's worth thinking about how much cards will be worth when they become classic cards unless you're going to sell them. That's all. Like, stop worrying about what cards are going to be worth in the future and think about what you can win with your cards. If you're thinking like, what can I win with my cards in the future? And you look and say, well, I don't have Barco, so there's no way I should keep this Cecina card or this Shaqiri card or whatever. I think that's poor strategy. I genuinely do. Sorare Samurai says Shaqiri is £5 at limited right now if anyone needs a smasher. Mikey Bass and Hergoda goal? Yeah. I got him somewhere. Anyone got a Julian Green assist? Eh? Let's see. Where do I have him? Here he is. What is that? Contender Classic Limited. Look at this beautiful lineup. Of course, I captained Green, but whatever. I actually considered getting a Hergota rare like yesterday. Oh, it was off a corner? Let's see here. Where is this game? Here we go. Oh, man, I didn't see this. Okay. Felix Klaus following a corner. Boo. Is that Martin Van Brederode? Myron. That's what I meant. I had this guy's card at one time. There were a lot of people who thought was he at AZ? Yeah. There were a lot of people who thought he was going to be good one day. He scored 100 once and never, other than that, above 81. So Samurai said, I have him in a lineup with Pizzella captain as I think he starts the weekend. Wow, that's risky. I think Pizzella starts also, but it's a tough matchup. Estudiantes aren't bad at all. But anyway, yeah, I think the whole value of cards once they become classics, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. They're going to, like, in-season cards are more valuable than classic cards. Trying to get any sort of analysis after that is just noise. How about that? Anyone who didn't watch a show earlier this week when I talked about noise isn't going to understand that one, but anyway. The Real Nose said, in All-Star, I am now at a point where I only line up cards with at least a 13% bonus because with 30,000 lineups, I just don't think there's any way you're winning without those kinds of bonuses. I think that's a reasonable assumption. I mean, a reasonable thing to do. I don't know if it's necessarily true, but that's fine. Like my cards, let's see. My like contender, or I'll go to that contender classic one that, is this the lineup? No. What order is this in? A to Z order. That's what I like. Here, hold on. So like Challenger, yeah, Contender. This is definitely not A to Z order. It was this lineup. 18%, 21. Oh, wait. So 8%. These aren't even that high. It's like here. 15% on Armani, 12% on Montiel, 8%. Yeah, those aren't even I. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But All-Star, like, what did I play in All-Star? I wish it would just take me there. Oh, well, whatever. But yeah, I think that's fine. I think, so Green took the corner, but Klaus flicked it on. That's fine. I think XP is fine, but I do think that like there are people who are like, oh, I got to play 13% guys. And you just have to be careful that if you're picking like worse players just because they have a better percentage, that's probably not the right call. Goose said, for me, it feels like it's hard to win Premier League comps without Salah this year. Do you believe one card can be so dominant in a competition, or there are always ways around these cards if you're smart? I will absolutely never believe that the only way to win a Prem comp is to have Mohamed Salah. Like I would almost guess. I'm trying to think if, like I was going to say, I almost guess that there's never been a week where he's the highest scoring forward alone. Like he's probably in the top 5 every week for Prem competitions. But it's like you need 4 other cards. A single player does not have that much of an impact on a lineup that if you have him, you're good. And if you don't have him, you're bad. Like it's just it does not work that way. Even in single league competitions. Let's see. Prem. Like I appreciate that. So this is Prem Classic D1 this game week. This midweek Prem slate. Like Salah was captain in the winner. But like second place doesn't have him. Fourth place doesn't have him. Fifth place doesn't have him. Seventh, no. Eighth, no. Like, yeah, it helps to have him. Oh, George St. Ledger. How about that? GG, George. But I just don't think that, like, this is proof that you can have good results without him. First place, no Salah. Second place, Salah. Third place, no Salah. You know, like, it's not. Yeah. So, no, I don't think that that a single player can be so dominant. Like, you need five good scoring cards to win. Prem rare comps were being won a lot by Allison VVD, VDV, TA Salah. Yeah, again, I'm not saying that that having Salah is bad, but like you can have success without him. Absolutely. Who said you can still win without insane XP, just make it harder for yourself. Yeah. Philly Dilly said Prem is a bit unique in that the Prem strikers haven't been that good this year. I mean, that's fair. But also like and with Contender, like there's always someone else you can play in Contender, which is why I like it. BR4 said Brentford and Forest stacks have won big this year. Yeah. And Wolves. Didn't that one guy win Wolves? Like, didn't the Wolves stack win like back-to-back game weeks or 2 out of 3 or something like that? Yeah. Mike said, yeah, Salah only scored 66. Like this past game week. Let's see. Like you could almost make the argument that those people won in spite of Salah this week. Philogene, Kluivert, Nkunku, Diaz, Sarr, Traore, and Neto all scored more than Salah, who had 73.7. Are we really going to do this? When did they play? Oh, they played 56 also. What did he do? Goal and assist. So he had 91. Maybe he was the highest that week. There we go. We found one. So he's the highest this week. And then 55. Oh, 3 game weeks in a row. Was this a short week? 55? Why are there only this many? Was there no Prem this week in 55? It doesn't look like enough forwards. But I guess when only what is that, 9 play? 10, 11, 54. What did he score in 54? 65.5. I mean, Rashford scored more than him that game week. Home against Wolves. You would have expected Salah to dominate that game. But again, it's not like he's bad, but he's been fine. There's ways to do it. Philly Dilly said when I was deep diving, Brentford and Forest stacks didn't do as well as you would think because they were not as consistently in Division 1 compared to LFC stacks. That's fair. But I'm guessing winning D2 was probably enough also. Sorare Samurai said, I think I remember Alex on Sorare looking at winning Prem teams and how quirky some of them were. Yeah, every week you will see quirky teams that win somewhere. Every single game week. Not in every competition. There's some where you're just like, oh yeah, Liverpool smashed, and there's the Liverpool stack, and they won. But like, you're going to find quirky lineups everywhere. Like, I'm guessing like Celtic stacks won everything this midweek in Contender, but maybe I don't know. Let's see. Were there any wacky ones in Contender Classic? D1. Some guy from Motherwell, Rangers, Celtics, Rangers, Celtic. Second place, Yokohama Marinos, Sanfrecce, Tijuana, Toluca, Rangers. Third place, Mazatlan, Kashiwa Reysol, Makita Zelvia, Vissel Kobe, Celtic. This is why I love Contender so much. It's just random stuff like that. But Premium season, Chelsea, 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 which beat the Salah lineup. I don't know. Tuggy, what did I say that was offensive? As he said, watch your words, Laird. The Real No said, when I started playing Sorare, I bought Wellington Silva just for the jokes because he was a foot legend. He was not in a covered league forever until he popped up today at some CSL club. It made my day. I did read that he, yeah. I read that, or I saw his name. Goose said, I rethought our Utrecht conversation earlier this week, and now I believe your Barkas and El Korani buys were actually good buys in isolation. Yeah, Contender's the best. Even Rashford outscored Salah because he's better than Salah. Like I said, as soon as you named Tijuana and Reysol, I knew that it would be Efrain and Koga. Look at what Sorare does to you. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Toby said, think of my Shaq and James will be wasted, though, because Magdeburg came out with Matheson leaving training for a concussion check 3 minutes before the deadline and a YouTuber presser video. I thought I saw that in the Scandinavia Discord. Togi said, Barkas is never a good buy. El Korani is always a good buy. I think that's reasonable. I think that's a reasonable take. I mean, Barkas is only coming off 83 points against PSV and 64 against Almere City in a loss. It's a wild score chart. I bet that looks really funny on Sorare too, with their like bars. What a mess. Sorare Samurai said, I watched my first K-League game last week. That's what Sorare does to a man. It's a great line. Efrain could be so good this season for SO5 with sets. Who's he play for again? Toluca? Oh, Tijuana. And then he only played 45 minutes against. They beat Pumas 4-2. The hell was this? Shamar Nicholson is at Pumas? Oh no, at Tijuana? Look at that. Goal, 2 assists, and a clearance off the line. And a yellow card. And a big, that was probably one of the assists. Wow. What is silly. You could actually stack them. You know what's funny? Where is this guy? Miguel Ortega. Do you have Tigres cards? Is that what that is? He did. Knew that face looked familiar. You could do a full Tijuana stack. I don't think I realized that. Alejandro Gomez. No way. Shout out to Dylan. How about that? Goose said, "Does somebody want to trade my Kyle Duncan Super Rare for some cash or MLS Limiteds?" What does a Kyle Duncan Super Rare look like? Floor price is $8 for I'm guessing you won this one. Oh, you auctioned $16. I don't know if anybody wants to buy that. I do not. But I also don't play. Mike said, I bet his clearance off the line is being on the post at a corner. Mike. You're not wrong, Mike. You're not wrong. Toby said the only issue for Efrain is that his coach loves to only play him 45 minutes for whatever reason. That is a humongous issue, though. Like if that's the issue, that's a big issue. Goose said if you zoom out, Barkas is actually very 75 plus capable, in my opinion. So I wouldn't say he's often a bad buy. So it's funny, Goose. We don't even need your opinion on that. We can actually just look and see that he is 75 capable since he literally just scored 83. So there's that. And yeah, it's a decent upcoming set here. Just as I was going to sell my Utrecht collection, they play, is it NAC Breda or is it NAC Breda? Anyway, at home, Willem Dos away, NEC at home, not to be confused with NAC. Heerenveen at home, Go Ahead away without Briam, Groningen at home, Ajax at home, Walwick away, Twente away, Sparta at home, Fortuna. That is a hell of a run. Imagine selling these cards. What is a Barkas in-season rare cost these days? $100? No. $62 was the last in-season. 3 days ago, $58.50. Basel sold for $50. Huh. I'm only looking because I have an in-season El Qurani rare that I think I captained this game week. Challenger in-season. There he is. Yep. I was going to give it to Haspo, but I didn't not at the last minute. I actually never gave it to him. Mike said, surely the best time to sell them into the run of good fixtures. So you say that, but like, I don't think people, like, not enough people at this point of the season are looking at Utrecht and being like, oh, let me go get them. Like, that's who I should get. And it's like, I don't think it's the best time of the season. And I'm guessing Sorare are selling. Like, how much could these cards really cost? Paxton Aaronson's $8. You can't even buy a Barkas. Is that right? Can't buy Barkas and you can't buy El Qurani instant buy. No, yeah. Maybe it is the best time to sell. $12. 1144 is the floor. Goose said the best time to sell a card is when the L5 is insanely high. Do I have a special Barkas? For some reason, I thought I did. Oh, that's not Utrecht. Oh, I do. Look at that. Surely that's worth $100, right? The problem is I don't want to list it because then I lose my, look at that, I'm 13 days away. Not that it gets me anything, but, you know, we're getting closer. Philly Dilly said the best time to sell is after the good fixtures. You're probably right. Like, actually, I think that's right. People just love buying that L5. Toby said, ride it out. Selling is boring. I think I'm going to. Just something came over me at one point. I was like, do I really want these cards? And then I went to the lineup builder and they had a good matchup. And I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do want to keep these cards. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Barkas is not the new João Felix. Stay with us here. I played João somewhere reasonable. It's nice to see him playing regularly finally. Have that going for him. But no, I kept Barkis. I played him in a like that. This is my top challenger lineup. I will say I did something insanely stupid this midweek and got 2 Contender Division 1 in-season lineups relegated to D2. I was just furious with myself. Absolutely furious. One of which I thought was like an okay lineup, but then like the other one was a total throwaway. Like it had 5 players, but like it was basically a throwaway, and I got relegated, and I was so angry. It was just such a stupid thing to do. I had this lineup. Ibanez got ruled out after the deadline, so that was unfortunate. Can I see how many points I am from relegation anywhere? We can look on Sorare. 57 minutes until my notification that I got relegated. Where was it here? I had this D1 relegated. 48 points. After Koki Anzai helped me win a Jota, Tigres were absolutely terrible and got relegated by 48 points. And then here, this one was short by 5 points. Guzman, Aquino, Brunetta. Who did they even play? Who was that? Juarez. Tigres lose 1-0 to Juarez at home and get me relegated. And Ibanez here, or that was the lineup I showed before. Wait. Yeah. So both of these, Tangerine and Rambutan, got relegated. And I was just like, because now I'm in D2 for this weekend. Now again, and like I don't think I have a lineup that's good enough to even get promoted, let alone win. But like if there was ever a week that I needed to get back, so now this one is in D2. Here's the one my Tigres guys, $300 for first place. Ugh, I know I'm going to finish first. I just know it. After I get relegated. Yeah, Necaxa is going to smash Tigres this weekend. Did you put it in to get XP? No, I genuinely put those in to win money. And I did not win any money. I got relegated. But I get 11 essence and 1 box for the midweek. I got 7 rare essence and 4 super rare essence. And the 4 super rare, is that right? 4? Yeah, 4 super rare essence, which is perfect because I have 15 already. So this gets me to 19, so I can't craft a card. But will be able to craft a rare card. So that's fun. But dismal. I want a tier 3 limited from this. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, no, yeah. There we go. No tier 3. Just 3 relegations because I'm an idiot. Oh, it's so annoying. So annoying. With the gap in rewards between Division 1 and 2, that is a costly mistake. Yeah, agreed. Actually, I don't know if it was a mistake. One of them was a mistake. The other one was like, I just hate Tigres. Goose said the best time to sell, in my opinion, is before the last good fixture of a great run, in my opinion. Example, Minta before his game against Southampton. I just don't think, I think that's just so circumstantial. What's this guy's name? There he is. Like this chart disagrees with you. Although this one, $20 instant buy today. But like, I don't think that's true. I don't know. I think that's just such a random, like, oh, you sell the guy with 5 good matchups and you sell him after the 4th one, assuming that all 4 of those matchups he did well. I don't know. Sir Samurai said, what essence step would you craft if I only play limited contender? I've been doing tier 3 crafts. I just go at 20, tier 5 every time. But I don't accumulate essence that fast. Maybe that'll change now, but I crafted a tier 3 after I bought all my MLS cards. I crafted tier 3 and got Walter Benitez from PSV, which was great. And I sold that card and at limited, yeah. And then I did a rare at tier 5 and I got David Raya. So like, who knows? That reminds me, I wonder if that Benitez card that I sold. So I sold it under the floor because I wanted to get rid of it. Like I didn't want that card. What did you do last weekend? 100? No, of course not. And then the person that bought it from me, so I sold it around $15, and the person that I sold it to immediately relisted it at like 17. Let's see if he ever sold it. Where's mine? That's so many cards that get sold. 1580 I sold it for. And then they sold it in a bundle to Trend for $42, which included Kamavinga, Bischoff. Yeah, who knows? That seems like a not great sale for me, though. I mean, not great sale for them, as people are now buying in the 12 range. Oh, I guess there was that's a special edition, though. Mine wasn't. I do find it very interesting lately to see like the difference between secondary market and instant buys primary market and secondary market, even just for in-season cards. I'm like pretty passionate that there are now 3 markets on Sorare, like the secondary market, primary market. I'm sorry, in-season, primary, in-season secondary, and classic secondary. And that we always knew there was a gap between in-season and classic, but the gap between like secondary and primary now is substantial. Goose said, Laird, when do you enjoy Sorare the most? For example, when you're hunting jersey mints, when your strategy comes to fruition, when you get a really cool card reward you can use, etc. I can't remember last time I got a card reward that I was like super pumped about to use. It was probably Ezekiel Unsane. Let me see. I'm going back through my cards here that I've won. Yeah, I think he's the last one I was actually like excited to get. Oh, Vonitz. I won Wanitsek. That was fun. And I would have been like happy to win this Teji Savigny, but like I had bought 2 of them already. This Evander one, I wish I was excited about, but I won it with like 1 game left in the season. But that's a great question. What I enjoy the most. I think like the happiest I am when playing Sorare is like talking to people about Sorare. Not like this show. That sounds as offensive because I'm like, this actually isn't it. But it is like just being in like a group chat, like talking about Sorare, certain players or cards or whatever. Like that, the social aspect of Sorare is by far my favorite part of it. And lineup building's fine, collection's fine, like getting cards is cool. But it's actually getting a really cool jersey mint or really cool card. The fun part of that is sharing it with other people who like you can show them what you got and they like know why you're excited. Like that's my favorite part of it. Great question. Tuggy said, if we decided when is the best time to use XP, just boost whenever or wait a bit? I don't think anybody's figured it out. I still haven't even won XP yet. So I don't know. Sora Samurai said, my girlfriend knows too much about Sora, as that's all I yap about. She'll be glad I can vent here and not to her. You can always come here. I'll be here every day at some time, usually around 12 Eastern in the US, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. in Europe, the rest of Europe. Like I'll usually around then. You can come hang out. We got a bunch of people here. It's great. Juji said this late into the season, I would rather buy from secondary than primary. I mean, maybe it just depends what you're buying. Simo, what's up? So yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for, just to hang out, talk about Sorare. And the chat's like always, big enough that, any questions you have or any comments, like people are gonna hit on it. And then Simo says Sorare social is the best. I mean, just go to one Sorare sevens and you'll see how people are like really excited to have this really cool thing in common with each other. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm going to go because I got some things to take care of. I had to take a little break today because I went into my youngest daughter's class in school as a mystery reader. Read an excellent book. I'll be honest, I nailed it. Kids were on the edge of their seats, page by page. I really should just go into reading in classrooms more often. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say after that. Anyway, go read a book, whether it's a kid's book or not, go do that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. Go over to Quinny 3001, subscribe there. But like, let's be honest, we're all subscribed there because we all should be already. Should be ashamed if you're not. And do the same thing over on Harry's channel. They have memberships on their channels too. I just noticed that I crossed the 1 year mark on Harry's channel. I think I saw it was during the deadline show today. SR Monkey said he just passed 3 years on Quinny's. I had already passed 3 years on Quinny's, but I noticed that I went 1 year on Harry Trades' channel. I have no idea why it took me so long to subscribe to Harry's channel. But go over there. Those guys make phenomenal content for everyone in the Sorare community. And being able to become a member of those communities allows you access to additional stuff that allows them to make more. And so it's a win for all of us. So anyway, go check those guys out. Thanks for coming. And as soon as you're done checking those guys' channels out on YouTube, subscribing and all that good stuff, make sure you go outside.